Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Software Testing. My name is Knott, and I'm happy that you're here. You have seen it already in the video. Today I would like to talk about Testsigma and their powerful open source test automation platform. And yes, I was really excited when I have seen what they are offering for us as a software testing community. And it's not only that they mentioned build a reliable end-to-end test automation platform. No, the product that you can use basically is completely open source. And what is the cool benefit about that? I will show you in a second on their website. And what else is really cool? It's completely extensible and free to use for you. So that's a cool thing. So you can go through the marketplace and extend it to your needs. You can adopt it. And the cool thing is you can also work globally, shared with your team, and you can really speed up things when it comes to testing, test automation and everything. And before we dive into the product page and the product itself, there's one more thing that I have seen already that's really, really cool is that you can use the tool without any coding skills, and this is usually, I think, a big benefit for an entry level or an entry barrier for companies or for teams or for testers who have not that experience with coding skills. So they can really install it or use the cloud version of Testsigma and can start write their test automation in minutes and can get really powerful results already in a couple of seconds or minutes, as I just mentioned. So without further ado, let's take a look what Testsigma has to offer. So as you can see here, that's the Testsigma website. It's testsigma.com. As always, for those of you who are following my videos previously before, you find all the links in the video description down below. There's not only the Testsigma website, I also linked down the Testsigma GitHub project, so you can go there and try it out, and further links for you to look up. So let's take a look. So it says, replace complex tool chains with an open source test automation platform. Yes, that's cool. That sounds great. So you can, it's completely unified and customizable. That's what I've really liked about Testsigma so far, what I have seen. You can not only do web testing, mobile and API testing. So that's cool. And what I just mentioned before in the introduction is you can use your natural language to write test cases, which are at the same time your test automation scripts. So that's a really cool thing. Yeah, and they're also using some AI capabilities and functionality in order to self-heal your broken tests. So the tool identifies, for example, if an identifier has changed, and will fix your tests accordingly. So that's great. So no more flaky tests. That's cool. So then what else is in here? So you can create automated tests in minutes. So that's cool. So you can deploy Testsigma locally or on the cloud. So that's what I really like about it, because it's something that I have seen over the course of the years that companies try to struggle with bringing everything to the cloud. So they are concerned about the data, the hosting services, is it secure or not, and these kind of things. So if you are working, for example, in such a company and you have really high data protection regulations, Testsigma might be something for you, because you can install it locally on your machine, on your data network, on your data center, for example, and can do whatever you would like to do with it. And that's the great thing about it. As I said, you can write automated scripts in your natural language. In this case, it's English. You can run them locally, or you can also use parts of the Testsigma Cloud Test Lab. So you have an extensive access to more than 800 browser device combinations, more than 2,000 devices in the cloud hosted test lab. So you can run it locally, or you can install it locally, but at the same time you can use the agents in the cloud, which could also be a mixed setup for you. You have debug capabilities. As I mentioned, you have an AI capabilities implemented as well. They also have a test case recorder that you can use in order to identify elements by ID, by XPath, and so forth, to create really reliable test cases, test steps, and also test groups that you can later on share with other teams, or you can share among other test cases and test scenarios. So that's cool too. And last but not least, what I would like to show you here is you can really customize it to your extent and scale. And that's the cool thing, because there's like a marketplace in place for Testsigma, where you can not implement, but you can also implement if you like and make it public to the community. But you can install and extend your Testsigma solution to get even more powerful and great in terms of execution, reporting, and so forth and so forth. So take a look at the marketplace. It's really great what they are offering. And there's more. So if you go down the website, there's so many things that you can read about the tool that it offers. And my first impression was like, this cannot be true, right? I mean, there's so many great features that you can use in an open source product that I haven't seen before. So that's a really cool thing. So I really highly recommend you to try out Testsigma. Maybe you can also create a little proof of concept, a prototype with Testsigma, with your test environment, or with your product, and that's really cool. If we go take a quick look at the product page, here you can see what you can do. I mean, what I just mentioned is you can do web application testing, mobile API. You can use the different use cases with Testsigma, which is a regression test, a cross-browser test, a data-driven testing, continuous testing, and so forth and so forth. You have something like test development, test execution, you have reporting and analysis, and of course you have a test data management included. And last but not least, you also have visual testing, so you can also compare the results of your application. So you can create a baseline, let's say screenshot, and then in a test run you can do another screenshot and you can do a comparison with it to find out if there is a change in your product or not. So that's cool too. If you go to the products page, you can also see a comparison of the different Testsigma versions. So as I mentioned, Testsigma is open source, and you have the Testsigma Community Edition, which you can find here. You have the Testsigma Cloud version, which is basically everything in the cloud hosted by Testsigma. Or there is a Testsigma Enterprise Edition, which offers a ready on-prem solution with additional added security on top of it. So that's something that you can try out. So either you can go to the documentations, go there, download Testsigma and try it yourself, or you can get a free trial to the Testsigma Cloud for 30 days to try it out, to see if it really is helpful for you and for your company, fits to your tech stack, to your team staffing, and so forth and so forth, so to find the best possible solution. What else is really great on this side here, you can see like the comparison of things that you can get from Testsigma, from the Community Edition, and from the Cloud, and from the Enterprise Edition. So it's all listed here, really transparent, well documented, which is really cool. Which brings me to the next topic, which is the documentation. So if you go to docs, you find a plethora of things like getting started, collaboration, product settings, test cases, recording, test management, and so forth and so forth. So everything is really well documented on the Testsigma documentations website. You can also some tutorials, you have the GitHub access, and they also have a Discord community that you can join in order to talk to solution engineers, experts, but also exchange with the community on the Testsigma product. But I talked now for 8 minutes almost, and I would really like to show you the product hands-on, because this is something what I really like when I do such product reviews and show you like hands-on what you can expect from a product. So let's jump right into Testsigma. I skipped the sign-up process because it's simple like that. It's just like a click on a button and you're signed up and you're good to go. So let's jump right into the dashboard. So after you signed up and you logged into Testsigma, that is basically the interface that you can see. At first glance, it was like, okay, there's lots of information over here, but it's really cool because everything is in one dashboard for you to show and for you to see. So as you can see on the top, or let's go down to the very top, we have the projects page. So we have, if you just sign up and you get into the trial mode, you have some sample projects that you can use already predefined from Testsigma, which is really cool to get an idea like how the tool can look like in terms of the dashboard, reporting, failed and passed test cases, and so forth and so forth. So if you click here, you get some sample projects. And it's also really easy to create your own project, which I already did in a couple of minutes. creating a demo project, adding my blog, writing test cases, and boom, done. So it's really cool. So for now, I stick to the simple travel example here. You have some other entry points as well on top, so you can send your love to Testsigma to the contribution, so you can give stars on GitHub or you tweet about it. You get access to the tutorial, you can schedule further demos with solution experts, you can share feedback, or you can create new test cases, requirements, or a project. We come to that in a second. Then below, as I just mentioned, you can find the entry point regarding the marketplace. So in case you would like to extend Testsigma, that's the way to go. So you can find something regarding PDF actions here. So you see like an App Store like review, rating, broken link finder, and the forth and the forth. You have the Chrome browser extension, more geolocation, and even more. And if you click here, view more, you get lots and lots of more add-ons that you can install for Testsigma. So that's cool. A little bit below, you can see the latest test runs. So what has been done. Today I have nothing executed so far, but you can see what has happened in my week. So there are some executions on Mac, there's something on Windows. You can see directly the failed and passed state. You can also get a monthly overview and a quarterly overview. Well, that's the same data because I haven't done much there yet. You can also see like the total number of test cases, like how many have passed, how many failed, and how many have not been executed yet. You can get some test plan scheduling available as well. And what I really caught my attention, but I haven't tried it out because I'm not working with somebody yet on Testsigma, is the reviewing section. So you can also submit something for review. That's great. So it's a really cool collaboration product, or like a collaboration feature that you can find here. So in case you created a test case and you submit it for review, then somebody else on the team can review your test case. So it's typical, let's say you're an expert or like an expert in a specific field and you would like to get some peer review. That's the way you can go. You can do this for test cases and you can do it for elements, which is really cool. So you can not only write complete test cases or test scripts. No, you can also use the testing recorder functionality, or like the manual element creation functionality of Testsigma to create elements, let's say by XPath. And you're not sure if the XPath is robust enough to survive the next year or so, then you can put it here for review, get some feedback, and that's good to go. So this is the submitted one. And even if somebody allocated you as a reviewer to some of his or her test cases or elements, you can find it here in that section, I really like this one. And you can also get some more statuses regarding the readiness, unit testing, and critical tests as well. So that's what you can see on a dashboard. In a nutshell, you get a good overview of things, what you can see on your project, on the test cases, on review state, and so forth and so forth. If we take a look at the left side, which is the navigation of Testsigma, we see the plus sign. And here you can do the following. You can create test cases or new test case. You can create a test group, a step group, You can create elements, what I just mentioned. You can create test data profiles. You can write some requirements down, or you can create a complete new project. What else do we have? We have the dashboard, which we just have seen. We have the test development section. We have the project settings. We have agents, settings, and add-ons. And below we have some more capabilities, more reporting functionalities like usage details, the help section entry point. You can see what's new on Testsigma in case you have a new update, a new release. You find it down below, which is really cool. And last but not least, you have your own profile, the account state that you're in, and so forth and so forth. So let's take a quick look at the sections. So the dashboard we just talked about. Let's talk about the test development. Yeah, over here you find all your test cases basically. You can see the different test cases that have been implemented. As I mentioned, you can see all the elements that have been defined. So for example, we have let's say the address field. We open it up, you get some additional information like it's identified by XPath, created by myself, updated on, there's no entry. And you can see here's the element and the XPath element available. You can get also some additional history or in case somebody left a comment to that element, which is really cool. So collaboration is really one of the key aspects here as well. And you can see there are lots of elements already, and they have the state review, and you can also use some tags and change the status accordingly so that somebody else in the team knows that, ooh, Daniel is still working on that element, I cannot use it in my test. I have either to create my own, or I have to talk to him in order to get some feedback, what's the status, and so forth and so forth. You know what I mean. Test data profiles. Yeah, as I said, is you can also like add a set of test data that like connected to a profile, and then use the test data in your test runs, like email, username, password combinations, product information, and so forth and so forth. I mean, that should be clear, right? We have the upload section. There are no uploads yet. We have requirements where you can simply define your requirements. When you work in a product development team in an agile context, maybe or not, you get usually some requirements. You can import them and as well, and you can use and not use. You can implement the test cases according to the requirements, which I think is really cool. So everything is a combination of everything, because it's also good to bring in the product people, for example, and developers to Testsigma too, to work together on the requirements and on the complete product development in one tool, and that's Testsigma. So you can also create some test suites. So you can see here, there are some homepage tests, some login page tests, and so forth. So basically it's a combination of test cases. Yeah, so you can combine them in suites. You have test plans. So this is also really cool. So you can create test plans. Let's say in this case, we have some cross-browser tests. And here you can see that you're using some capabilities or some devices from Testsigma, from the cloud. You can see that we use like a Windows 10 with Google Chrome Testsigma device. We have a Mac with Mozilla Firefox. So over here you can really define the environments, and to the environments we come to that in a second later. And then according to the test plans, you can add what you would like to test on the different devices. You can schedule them. Say, okay, run them daily, trigger them on a certain action. You can see you can also run them partially, you can run them now, and so forth and so forth. And you can also get some reports, which I think is also really cool. So if we click here, we jump right into the report section, where you can get an overview, what has passed, what has failed. So you can directly see, okay, it has failed on a Mac with Safari, so it failed there. Here there's another one which was passed, and so forth, which is really cool. So let's go back to the test plans. Schedules, yeah, of course, you can use a calendar here to schedule your test execution, your test plans. Let's say you have nightly builds, you trigger them at, I don't know, 11 o'clock in the evening, and then you get expected results in the next day, and so forth. Run results, yes, we have seen that already partially in the reports. So you get a detailed overview of what has been executed, and you have direct access to the results here as well. What else? We have environments. We have cloud environments or dev environments. So cloud environment means here that we're using some Testsigma URL. We have, that's the environment that we have defined. And we also have, I come to that in a second, the so-called agents, where you can define where the test should be executed or not. Yeah, so this is something that we are seeing there. We have action lists, where you can also define some actions, so things that should be done after a certain thing, or in case of an alert, or in case of a browser action, we can define them over here. We can do some check actions, and so forth. And so it's completely things that are there already, and there's things that you can also add on top of it, which is cool. So this is regarding the really high-flying overview about the test development step, section. So you can see it's already really powerful and offers a lot of things that you can do with it. If we go into the project settings, yeah, we can do like let's call it the boring stuff, but really important things. So we can give some project details. We can talk about the project members here. So we can invite people, we can assign them to roles, and so forth and so forth. So we can define the requirement types. We can define the test case types and the priorities too. So this is all like customizing things at the very beginning of a project. If you don't do anything, you get like this. This is the basic setup, which is from my point of view already good to go, but there might be some project specific things that you have to work on. That's the place to go to. What else? We have agents. This is really interesting. So first of all, you get an introduction of what agents is all about. And this is something I mentioned already in the introduction of the video, is you can completely download all the agents that you would like to have. Like, so you have Mac agents with different processors, you have Windows, Linux, and Docker images as well. And with that, you can completely run Testsigma locally on your systems, in a data center, on your machine, wherever you would like to want. So that's really cool. Everything is over here just for you to click on it, install it, and you're happy to go. Or you can also say, okay, I would like to add a new agent. You can use this machine, or you can also go and add the cloud version. Yeah, if you would like to connect to cloud devices, you can also configure this in the environment section as well. We have some additional settings, which I think is also really cool. First I thought like, hey, this is the marketplace, but no, this is the plugin section of Testsigma, which is another great thing. So as you can see here, I quickly browse through them. These are all the plugins that you can use. So you also some categories, you can filter them basically. So we can use Testsigma to bug reporting with all the tools that you can see here. We can use collaboration features, so we can send reports to the tools that you can see here. We also have access to some other test labs. In case you have already some contracts with other test labs, you can already connect them here as well. We have product development access, and we can easily integrate it into the well-known CI/CD pipelines that are available. And Testsigma offers everything that you need to go right here, right to start, and that's a really cool thing, I would say. You have more user role sections here, so a lot of things that you can basically configure and set up to your need, to your requirements, which is a really great thing. And last but not least, I mentioned already, you can go to the add-on section where you can see like what are add-ons that are available. You can see the community ones, you can see the installed ones, and you can see my own add-ons if in case you have created or you would like to create your own add-on based on your requirements, based on your needs, and you think it's something that you can do like in a really more like in a really generic way to contribute it back to the community. That's the place to go. Go ahead, do an add-on and submit it to the community. Yeah, to enlarge the community and to get even more functionality into Testsigma and into our testing craft. So, and with that, we have seen Testsigma on an introductory level, right? So you can see Testsigma is really powerful, offers a lot of great stuff, a lot of customizable functionality, and it's really easy to create a simple test case, to use the test recorder. You can just download an agent to your system or use the cloud devices in order to, record and playback things. I really like what I have seen, but it's also really easy to just use your natural language in order to write your test cases. And if you like the video, leave me a thumbs up. As always, subscribe to the channel. Make sure to check the video links that I mentioned in earlier already in the video description for you to follow up on Testsigma. And yeah, I'm happy that you have come by today to the Testsigma introduction, and have a great day, and bye bye.